Hi guys, welcome back to Lost in My Library. My name is Kate. Today I am going over the 10 books I want to read in 2023. So I made a list last year of 22 books I wanted to read in 2022. That was a lot. I read like 3, maybe. I don't know. I know I read 1. I know Get a Life, Chloe Brown was on that list, and I read it. It was great. I don't remember what was all on that list, though. So we're going to cut it down and see. But this month has been really, really good. I don't know. I've read quite a few books this month, or finished quite a few books this month. Not all of them I necessarily started this month, but these are 10 books I want to read in the year of 2023. Most of them are finishing series. Continuing with my reading of all their books. You'll understand once I get to them. Few of them are starting a series. But they're series that I have long wanted to start. So these are no particular order. So let's just get started. Number 1, Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I desperately want to get into these massive fantasy series. That sounds insane. I really want to get into these because I think the lore and the story behind all of them, I want to love them as much as everybody else does, is basically what. And this is the first book of a massive universe that Robin Hobb has created, and I want to know what everybody loves so much about it. I feel like I would love Fitz. I would just adore Fitz from what I've heard about Fitz, and I just want to love it. I just want to be in the know like everybody else. That's why I am doing the catch-up book club this year. That book's not on here, by the way. That series is not on here. These were just the 10 books that I was like, yes, I need to read it. But I guess honorary mention, I'm wanting to do the catch-up book club this year with their new series that they're doing. They're doing the First Law trilogy. So this month, or last month, January and February, they're doing The Blade itself. So honorary mention goes to the world that is Joe Abercrombie's world, because I know it's more than 3 books. Next is the only series I have not read by Rick Riordan all the way through. That is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. So I would love to read that. I'm not limiting myself to 1 book, obviously. It's a trilogy, and they are very quick to read. Honorary mentions to go with this. I want to get into the Rick Riordan Presents universe. So there's so many series out there. I've read 1, and it was really good, and I tend on reading more and kind of like just read publication order, like how I'm doing with a couple of authors that are on this list. But that's a goal of mine, is to read the Rick Riordan Presents, because they are diverse and they are written by people of color. I think every single one of them is written by a person of color. I don't think there is a white person in the Rick Riordan Presents, and the only white person is Rick Riordan. And we stand Rick Riordan. We love Rick Riordan in this household. So I think it's learning cultures from the people who that is their culture. So it's not white person trying to write other people's cultures. Anyways, number 3, Will of Wolves. This is my last book. This is the last book in the Grishaverse trilogy, or not trilogy, Grishaverse in general. This is the last book. I do have, I think, one more short story collection, maybe, that I might need to read. But main novel series books, this is the last one, and I am sad. But I am also excited because I have, in good faith, know that my boy Kaz Brekker does show up in this book, or is mentioned. I'm not really sure. I did look on Wikipedia. I did look on Wiki, the Grishaverse Wiki, to just see if he showed up. He does. He's mentioned, or something, I don't know. Shows that he's in Roll of Wolves, so. I know several characters are in Roll of Wolves, so I'm very excited to, at least see them. That's all. The ending of King of Scars was not what I was expecting. I really shouldn't go on a mini rant about King of Scars. This is not the place to go on a mini rant about King of Scars. It was not what I was expecting. I was not expecting that to happen. But, let's just move on. Number 4 is As Good as Dead. This is by Holly Jackson. This is the last book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I do have the novella Killjoy left to read, but that's prequel and it's short. It's like 100 pages, something like that. This is the last main series book that I need to read. I really enjoyed the first book. Second book, I didn't love the mystery aspect as much as I loved the first one. And I know the third book is controversial. It's not many people love it as much as the first 2 books. So we'll see how I feel about it. But that's another series I need to finish. Now going back to authors who I'm reading in publication order. My next Stephen King book is The Long Walk. Now looking at The Long Walk, it's actually not that long. It's a fairly short novel comparatively to like The Stand and It and Pet Sematary. It's a fairly short novel. So I want to read it and read maybe more than one Stephen King novel this year. Although The Stand was a lot. But The Stand is also my favorite Stephen King novel. And it's really sad that I might not ever reread The Stand because it's 1,000-page long. It's a really good book. It's my favorite of Stephen King's works. I'd like to read more than one Stephen King novel this year, but we'll have to see. Number 6, I'm Glad My Mom Died, by Jennette McCurdy. I grew up watching iCarly. That was definitely a show I was very into. I wasn't so much into Sam and Cat. I kind of fell out once iCarly went off the air. I was into that era of Nickelodeon, so iCarly and Big Time Rush, of course, my loves that are Big Time Rush. I was really into Drake and Josh back in the day. Zoe 101 was another one that I was really into. So seeing this kind of era of Nickelodeon that I grew up with is exciting, and I know there's a lot of talk about the crappy things of Hollywood and what Jennette McCurdy had to go through, especially with her mom, especially with the allegedness of one director who's very well known, allegedly doing some not so good things that should put someone in jail if one was to do them. I am trying to use protective language because I'd rather not get sued. Thank you very much. Because he's not been convicted. So, you know, anyways, number 7, is a sequel of a series that I would like to continue reading, and that is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown last year and loved it. Absolutely loved it. I've been getting into romance quite recently, and I've really enjoyed the romance I've been reading recently. So, like, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I just read this month Part of Your World, and loved it. It was so good. It was top tier. So this is a series that I would love to get more into because the diversity in the series, not just because it's a person of color, but also health issues, is top tier. Just top tier. Love it so much. Moving on to a author that I would love to continue reading more of her works, because I think she is a modern classic, and we will be reading, I think, her works in the future in schools. Older, like high school, because her books are hard hitting, and they're meant to be that. They're written like that. That's Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. This is just the first one that came to mind. I do believe this won a award. I can't think of what. Several of her books have won awards. This is one of her more popular books, and I would love to read more of Toni Morrison. Moving on to an author who I'm also, my second author, who I am reading through publication order. We're getting on to Brandon Sanderson. My next book is Warbreaker, and this one isn't, funny enough, also isn't very big comparatively to his other books. The next book after Warbreaker is Way of Kings, and that is like 1,000 pages long. So, I am doing the Year of Sanderson. I did buy the Year of Sanderson thing, where I got, I get a book every quarter, and then there's book boxes for the months that I'm not getting a book. So I'm excited about that. Very, very excited. But I would like to read more Sanderson and get farther in my reading of Sanderson. And not just one book a year, or more than a year. It's going to be so long to finish Hero of Ages, which I was also trying to do a vlog and read 3 other books with it. So that's probably why it took me forever and a day to read Hero of Ages. And the last book is the start of a series. But it's a series that I've been wanting to get into, and I would like to get into this before the new book comes out sometime, but who knows how much time I'm going to have, because, like, who knows when he's going to actually publish the next book. But that is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. This is I feel like it's a classic fantasy. It's going to be classic fantasy at this point. This is a series that I've really wanted to get into, because everybody talks about it. Everybody talks about how good it is. So I just want to join in on the hype. I'm someone who likes to get on the hype of fantasy. So that has been the 10 books I want to read in 2023. I think this is a much more manageable set of books, but a lot of them are chunky. There's some chunky fantasy in here. But thankfully, my next 2, like Stephen King and Brandon Sanderson, are not chunky. Thankfully. Mercifully, I'm just kidding. I love them, and their long works, obviously. But that has been it. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. What are you wanting to read in the year 2023? How's your January been? Tell me all about it in the comments down below. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. Go be a good cabbage today. Do something kind for someone, even if that is for yourself, because self-care is important. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.